History is filled with chronicles of men and women in search of a new world, one then unknown to their local people. Across Africa, many Europeans are known to have come, some in search of knowledge and others in search of glory. For good or for bad, Asaba has played host to some of these travelers over time, and footprints of their journey is set in the sands of this historic city. The famous river Niger runs through the spine of Asaba, its cool waters bringing many travelers to the shores of Asaba land. In search of expansion, or as some would say, purely to satisfy knowledge and curiosity, several of these explorers traveled to what is the southern part of Nigeria, the lower Niger as it was known then. Footprints of these journeys can be seen in various places in Asaba.
Behind me here is one of the tourist attractions, somewhere that has become famous internationally, known for many things. There is a monument here that you can actually see, and behind it you can see the Niger, the river Niger in the background. History says that this is where the Lander brothers, the famed Lander brothers of British heritage, landed, and this is where the Asaba people met them. It's interesting to note that these were missionaries, these were people who had come from the British continent. Today it is now a tourist attraction where you have different people from across the world come to take a look, to see the spot. In the distance as well, you can see some of the grave sites, the tombs which are still remaining, and these are the missionaries who had died from malaria. Initially, most of these were covered by bushes and forest, but today it's been made in a state tourist site where people can come to visit this. From what we understand, the British government makes a point of duty to visit these grave sites anytime there is a new ambassador to Nigeria from Britain. The 1800s saw a flurry of first encounters with Europeans on Asaba soil.
So, Niger company or UAC kind of United African Company. All as I require. Even I was a branch. But form a company with Niger. Because open go the Niger. All of the business within it.
On this spot as I stand right now, behind me over there, and in the building right in front here, is where the old UAC building used to be. The UAC is the name that was later changed, that initially used to be the Royal Niger Company. It's interesting to note that this piece of what is left of this architecture is still here in Asaba. Down here are the two warehouses that used to be the UAC warehouses. Right here and right here. I presume that MYSI Enterprise may be from that period or from that time. But if you look down here, you can see the Niger. So they did have direct access to the Niger.
Trade follows the flag. That's right.
The Onitsha Bridge is over to the side. And these mango trees, of course, look like they could tell a tale or two.
So Royal Niger Company now, what an local ever got a Royal Niger Company. So local expenditure, what was the trading posts, Asabadia, Burutua, for Kadu as well.
I don't know what else this place has been used for, but for now, seem to be what is left of the Royal Niger Company, the UAC's influence, or to be more precise, their physical presence here in Asaba. There are some who appreciate the history of the colonial involvement in Asaba, and there are those who abhor it, because they feel it was a time when Asaba was robbed of its tradition, robbed of its history, robbed of its heritage.
Sometimes I find that episode of our history distasteful So I usually choose not to study it, yes, I thought that a lot of our customs and traditions were ravaged and vandalized by the colonial masters in order to be able to subjugate our ancestors and rule them for such long periods. Yes.
For instance, in 1888, Asaba was bombarded by the British under the pretext of stopping slavery. By 1889, the British administrators succeeded the Royal Niger Company with the Union Jack, hoisted on January the 1st.
Right there, the building there, was probably the administrative building where the offices of the staff of the Royal Niger Company stayed. It's still intact. In fact, the windows, the old colonial architecture is still there. The steps, and possibly even the paint structure. From here, you can look out all the way down and see the River Niger. In full tide, the waters go from the other side all the way across. I believe at least maybe 2 miles, 2 to 3 miles across. Must have been a sight for them to have been here, far from their land. Obviously, we ask the question, what were they here for? And we ask again, were they colonizers or were they developers? This is part of the history of Asaba.
One needs no convincing that this building has had its fair share of time and stories. This is the Mungo Park building in Asaba today, named after an English explorer who, from what we gather, never really lived here.
Behind me is one of the oldest post offices in Asaba. This post office has been here. This was the first post office that was set up. And if you can look behind me, you can see that to the left-hand side of it is a newer post office that currently is probably where it's being used, but the older one, I believe, is now more of a relic.
The relics of the Royal Niger Company are all over Asaba.